Hey everyone!
Hi guys and gals and non-binary pals and everyone in between. That was a quick save because I'm so used to saying the one gender hey. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in to Behind the Streams. Today we've got a really awesome topic that we're excited about because we're mods, most of us. Frank is here with us as a special honorary mod guest. But we're talking about mod appreciation. How do you show your thanks to the mods who dedicate their time and energy and talents to you as streamers? Or if you are a mod, how do you want to be recognized, and what can streamers do to help make you feel valued in the community? Because we spend a lot of our time and energy here, so we want to make that worth our while. But I am Rini, also known as Adorkable Me. I am the communications and operations manager for StreamerSquare. I'm also a mod here. I mod a few other places on Twitch, as does my amazing, beautiful, bearded co-host, Wes.
Hello, I'm Wes Issa, or just Wes. I'm a moderator all around Twitch, and I do this here. We talk to y'all about modding things and things behind the streams, and hopefully get some good information out there for streamers and moderators alike. As Rini mentioned, we have amazing guests today. I'm so excited to bring on FrankthePegasus, who is right below me.
Hi, that's me. Is this where I do intro stuff?
Yes.
This is where you do intro stuff.
Hi, I'm not a mod. I don't think actually technically anywhere. I was technically a mod places, but I don't think I even am that now. So I'm basically just a plebby streamer. So
I'm modding you on my channel.
I'm here really just to sing the praises of my mod squad, and we have our wonderful representative. Is he there? Here?
Hi.
He is
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Here, Team.
Hi.
Yes.
Yes, I am DeamHara here on Twitch, and I am mod for Frank. But that's basically the most important thing about me right now.
Deem also streams and does his art and whatnot on stream as well. So he's got both sides of being a streamer and a mod as well.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right, well, let's jump right into it. I mean, mod appreciation and just talking about how mods and their streamers have a relationship is super important. I think that dynamic needs to be kind of well established, and both parties should kind of know where they stand and know what's acceptable, what's not. So from a moderator standpoint, Rini, what kind of things are you expecting or hoping for in your role?
I think one of the biggest ones, it's actually super simple. It's just the words "thank you." Surprisingly enough, in our society, we don't say thank you that much. It's kind of one of those. It's an implied thanks. But I think when we're working in what's really kind of a service industry, as moderating is, thanks is a big thing. Like, just that little phrase goes so far. And so for me, that's one thing. I also I don't want to ever steal attention away from my streamers, but at the same time, I do love when I get a little bit of the spotlight. So that's another thing for me. I like when I'm like, yay, look at me. I did something neat. Hi. But yeah. Deem, what are things that you look for as far as recognition and thanks?
Well, I mean, sure, the classic thank you, it sounds for some people, especially streamers who have to say it a lot sometimes. It's in their head, it starts to sound meaningless, but as a person who receives the thank you, I think it's still just as valuable as any other way of showing thanks, because it's still just the moment of the person takes a moment to recognize you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Frank, do you ever feel like maybe sometimes you say thank you a lot?
I say thank you a lot, and I definitely find myself trying to find new and creative ways to say thank you to people, because it does start to feel like this can't possibly be enough to show my gratitude. because I think there's so much to be thankful for on this side, and my mod squad is truly just one of those things. So my thank yous are always like, "Thank you so much for everything you did today. I don't know how I would have gotten through this day without you." Like, it's always like well over the top, but it's because I really do feel like, I don't know, they're the backbone of the stream.
Mhm.
And there are definitely days where like this show would not go on if they didn't talk me into doing it in the first place. So um, it's good to know that a thank you goes that far because it definitely doesn't feel like enough almost ever.
Yeah.
Do you generally thank your moderators for things that they do on stream, and or is it like a case by case? Like if they do something while you're live, you'll thank them there. But like, what if someone makes a graphic for you or something like that? Do you do that publicly or privately?
It depends on the thing and the frequency and kind of like the expectancy of it. Like some things are just kind of like that is part of your modly duties and it will go into like a huge thank you afterwards. But if they go above and beyond, a lot of times I'll say thank you so much for doing that thing right now. And it'll often be just like that in stream. Like thanks for making that command. Thanks for taking care of that thing. For example, one of my moderators this morning just literally just changed my game uh, category from one to another. And it was something that I normally take care of on my end, but I had kind of warned them I wasn't going to do that today. And he did it and he just like let me know that he did it. And I was like, thank you for doing that because it's not a thing that's on your normal mod duties. So I think I take a special moment to thank people, at least on stream. I'll point out if they've made a graphic for me. I'll point out if they've done something that feels like it's above and beyond what is their like normal Call of Duty. So,
Okay.
With
Yeah, I
your mod team structure, do you actually like go through and have it written out like these are your mod duties?
um, there is kind of a there was a guide once upon a time that is
I
very
don't think I
outdated
remember
now.
that guide.
It still
you know
exists
how
and
that
you can
goes.
access it, but I wouldn't bother reading it because it's definitely outdated at this point. It's more something that we go over, I think, when they become mod. It's something that I'm really careful to be like, these are the things that are expected. And we do usually when I mod people, almost I would say like 90% of the time when I'm modding somebody, it's because they filled out a mod application for me. So that goes into like my process of how to mod, which is I think probably a different podcast, but um, that will kind of go through a lot of what are mod duties and what I'm expecting. And so they kind of have an idea, and then I'll kind of go through the application with them and let them know like this is what we do in these cases. And then we always have a space where they can ask questions if they're a brand new mod or even not a brand new mod. We just leave it open. Like if they have a question, they can kind of bounce it off of the mod team. We have a very specific channel in Discord that's specifically for that thing. Like this thing happened and I just don't know how to handle it or something like that. So like even if they don't know exactly what they're supposed to do to handle something, there's a place where they can go to ask that question. But yeah, I kind of go over it when I mod them, I guess, is what I'm expecting of them. And then anything beyond that, I ask very specifically, like, is this something that you have time for or whatever?
So I guess everybody does it differently. Everybody, you know, thanks their mods differently, and as pretty much I think all three of us here agree, just giving thanks to your mods is a huge thing, whether you're doing it privately or publicly. I think obviously publicly usually means a little bit more, maybe for some of the bigger stuff that they might do that's not in their regular modly duties.
Hmm.
But what are some things you said you were looking for creative ways to say thank you or I mean, and maybe some of these have a small or medium monetary value to them, but what are some things that you all have seen as other ways of saying thank you than the actual words?
I mean, I do remember from a time before I was mod, there was a mod appreciation day
Hmm.
at Frank's,
Yep.
but like where there was special alerts for one for each mod,
Yep.
and so the viewers could monetarily support the stream, but also a portion of that day would go to each mod.
Hmm.
And I think if a streamer is financially in a secure place to do that kind of thing, go for it. I mean, sure, it's not for everyone to say, here is money. thank you. So,
But
Yeah.
I mean, I think for a lot
mean-
of people, there's a lot of people who say thank you to the mods quite frequently and get a lot of help from the mods. And that might be their only day to show that type of appreciation. And maybe that's what they want to do. Maybe they're already a big donator. Obviously, like you said, if the streamer's not in a place to be giving up income, because it's like doing a charity, right?
Yeah,
Your viewers are
essentially.
still
Yeah.
going to be giving money, but you're not benefiting as much.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's huge. Is there what made you want to do that, Frank, or like what?
I got that idea from a friend of mine, Aurora Peachy, does that for her mods as well. And it's something that I definitely am planning to do again. It's just been kind of like not a thing that I've been able to do recently. But yeah, it was just a day where actually the mods each of them picked a game that I would play, and I played through some of their favorite games for a couple of hours. So they got like some of the inside bits of the game or of the day as well. Like it was a longer stream. I played each game for a couple of hours. So they got to see me play things that I have been basically like resisting playing that are some of their favorite games. And it was a day that it was like basically entirely for them and to celebrate them. And, we hyped it up like we would any other event. And it was very much like running a charity event. There were incentives and reasons to be giving. And then I just took all of the revenue from that day, whether it was coming from subs or bits or whatever. And I split it up and I gave them each a portion of, I split it equally from all of my mods and sent it off to them. And it was nice because when we did it, it was right before Christmas. So it ended up being kind of like a holiday bonus for them.
That's
awesome. Yeah, I
The
do remember
timing
that
worked really
stream.
well.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching that and being like, Frank's doing something just for her mods. Like, I'm kind of a little jealous because I want that too.
I'm pretty sure I was there for that stream
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah, I think you were not quite mod yet at that point, but yeah, you were
Yeah,
there.
no, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't mod yet. But
Yeah.
on the same note of that kind of event, I think it's also important that people realize that's not what you become a mod for.
No.
That's a very good thing to point out. If you are
It's
in it
not
to
a
get a
paid
check.
Yeah.
If you-
Most streamers cannot, like, I think there's maybe 10 streamers max on any platform ever that pay their mods.
Yeah.
It's so few and far between. And, like, it's one of those things where I know people want to become a mod because you're in that inner circle with the streamer. You're kind of get that inside scoop into their life a little more sometimes, and also you become a pillar of the community. So like there is recognition with that, having that sword. Like there's that little benefit of that. But it's also hard. Like for you guys, Deem and Frank, what do you find with that balance of like this is a mod, this is someone who's fulfilling sort of a work role versus like becoming friends as well? Like how do you balance that?
It is like it's more like for me anyway, it's like having a team. Like I would say I guess the manager of the team, but I don't really a lot of times I don't see myself that way. And I know that the mods do look to me for like final say on things, and I appreciate that because it is my stream at the end of the day. But it is very much like being part of a team. And in that way we are very close and we are friendly. And so the dynamic of the team has to work really well. I've definitely unmodded people because they just didn't fit in with the team dynamic. So I think that's a huge part of it is that it's both friendship and work, and you need to like have a group that is willing to respect when those things are happening. We joke that every time we have a mod meeting, it's like 5 hours long because some of it is business. It's like an hour and a half of business, and then it's just us. Can I swear? It's just us like talking for the rest of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
I'd
would
avoid
definitely get
F-bombs,
sidetracked.
but
Yeah.
no, I
Yeah.
definitely know how that goes. Well, and honestly, is that not a reward in and of itself in a way? Like sometimes it's awesome for me to just get to hang out with Loco or Lucid and pick their brain in voice chat when we have a meeting, just because it's like I never get to talk to you this way. It's always in a chat with a few hundred other people. And when, if we end up just talking about whatever and having fun for an hour and it's not work, like that's, in a way, that's its own reward. Like that's fun for us.
Yeah, I can definitely say my favorite thing is when mod meetings fall on a day when Frank is not going live by plan. because then we just have, okay, we can first just focus on the things we need to talk about. And like last Friday, we just had a meeting, and it literally just went off into the remaining people. I'm sorry, English is not my first language. Like in the end, we just had a long section of everyone who was still there, just getting a load of stuff off their chest that we were dealing with, and we joked and called it like "Welcome to Therapy with FrankthePegasus." But in some sort, it is just nice to have a team in a moment where you can just get everything off and know that you are in good hands.
Mm.
And that
Yeah.
to me is also a form of appreciating your mods and like giving them this space where they can feel safe to share things that they wouldn't necessarily share with you in a bigger chat.
Yeah, I'll say for me, like with Taffy Stream, we don't do mod meetings really. And so that's something that, like, coming from all these other channels that had done mod meetings, that was a big change for me to like be like, oh, we're not gonna just, talk about what's going on in stream. Granted, Taffy is an Isaac streamer. We know he's going to play Isaac, so there's not big changes really.
Yeah.
And now that we have other games that we play in the afternoons, we also know that's decided by the spreadsheet that we made. So there's not big things to discuss as far as the channel goes. But having just a mod chat in Discord, a place where we could talk, which apparently wasn't like a big social thing prior to me getting modded. I think it happened some before me, but like I realized after I joined that I was a little more social than some of the older mods had gotten used to. And so they're like, why is this getting pinged constantly? I'm like, because I want to talk to you guys. Like, you're my mod family. We need to support each other. We need to like know what's going on. Like, I will tell them first, like, what's going on in my personal life before I tell anyone else.
Yeah.
Or I guess Wes knows first, and then everyone else knows.
I get certain privileges there. But no, I honestly, a mod team is like a family. I tell them more than I would tell all but my closest IRL friends. They're usually some of the first people that I go to. And I've been in that situation too, where I went into a mod team and there's not really like a mod conversation going on. There's maybe not a mod Discord, and maybe not, a lot of messages back and forth about your daily. And to me, that was just a little strange. And I think having that type of communication is actually like super important. And when just appearances in there from the streamer is, again, its own form of reward. Moderators love to be a little bit more in the know about their streamers, and if a streamer wants to talk to you about their crappy day in the mod chat, that's its own kind of reward. It feels good to know that your streamer trusts you with that kind of stuff. So it's not a direct way to, show appreciation to your mods, because if you come to complain about your day, we don't feel like, oh, thank you so much. But like, it is really nice to like feel like you have that trust. So what are some actual other appreciation ideas or things that you've seen? I've seen a spreadsheet with like games that each mod wants. And you don't really know, or like merch or games, or just like simple things that each mod wants. And it's like, you don't really expect any of those things at any given time, but you have a way for them to be purchased, which is like, I think a really cool way for a streamer to just like sneak in a thank you somewhere for something, above and beyond.
Yeah, that is really cool. I'd never considered like keeping it somewhere. I've always like, anytime I wanted like to give back to my mods, I'm always like try to be like sneaky, like, so if you were like, I try to ask them and then do it right away. I'm not sneaky about it. I'm always like, if you were to get this thing from someone, then what would it be? Like that. But it makes sense to do it as a spreadsheet, because then even if you were going to do a mod appreciation day, you could like share it with the community and be like, well, if you don't want to just give money, you could give, like, if you were, because people like to give in all kinds of ways. And I think giving people more avenues to like buy food for them or to buy them a game or whatever it might be. I think that's the more the better, basically, because not like you're expecting them to fulfill all of the requests, but that way they get their choice of how they want to support too. So if you're going to do it in that way, even if it was just that way, not like coming from the streamer directly, but from the community too,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
And I know, like, I've sometimes wanted to like be like, "Hey, streamer, I love your merch. Times are tight. Can I use your discount?" And I'm like, I don't know if that's an appropriate thing ever to ask as a mod. Like,
I would never say no. I would never ever say no. I don't expect anybody to buy my merch. I pretty much only ever schlep my merch when it is on sale. I'm like, hey, it's hecka on sale. You should buy it now.
Do you get paid less if it's bought on sale?
Yes.
Oh, so that's not out of the
It does affect me. Yeah, I don't care because I don't get paid that much for merch anyway. Spoilers, no streamer is getting much out of you buying merch.
True.
Merch is something for big streamers that they get money off of merch because they're selling a lot of units of it. But if you're like modding for a mid-sized streamer or you are a mid-sized streamer, you're not getting I don't think I've even paid off one of the designs that I've gotten done. So like it's in the course of the entire time I've had merch, I get I don't know, like a couple bucks maybe every time somebody buys a shirt. Maybe. It's not
Yeah.
much.
Out of like $25 that is spent on it.
It's not
You get like
much.
what, 4 for a hoodie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why that's a really cool thing though. I hadn't thought about that. And Loco, if you want to throw me your discount, no, but that's a really cool idea. I hadn't thought of that. Another idea might be gifting merch, because as I mentioned, there's not many games that I like want that I don't just buy, but I'll always take more merch. So like that's what I've put on a spreadsheet for what a mod wants. I'm singing that. But yeah, I've always put merch on there because I think that's absolutely awesome. Does anyone here know about like birthday, holiday, or like modiversary gifts?
I know of one streamer who did holiday gifts. It was actually someone I used to mod for, and I stepped down from modding due to time commitment reasons just before the holidays, so I missed out on getting a holiday gift from them. But yeah, it was one of those neat things. I didn't even know that this streamer did this, but I'm like, oh, that was really neat. Like they put time and thought into like what each of their mods might like. Granted, their mod team was a lot smaller than most other streams have, so I think they were only buying gifts for like at most 7 people. So that was a lot easier for them. But yeah, I don't know, like birthday gifts, modiversaries. I mean, during our pre-talk, Deem found out their modiversary.
Yeah, I just found out today that my modiversary at Frank's is in 2 weeks.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah, that was an awkward moment in the pre-show. Frank, what are you doing for that?
Nothing.
Maybe something now. Honestly, I feel really inspired to be like more on top of things like that because it is kind of special. I mean, for real though, for a streamer to have a mod that wants to stick around for an entire year, that's a long time. That's a long time to be modding for somebody. And it's been a while since I had a mod that did want to stick around that long and was still engaged and like I still had a need for them to be part of that. And so I think it is kind of special to see somebody stick around that long and want to be there. So maybe.
Yeah. Personally, I would rather have my modiversary be celebrated by my streamer than my actual birthday. I actually might have gotten modded like a week before my birthday, so like that would feel weird. But like a modiversary to me, that does make sense. It is like a celebration between you and the stream, not just like your own little thing. So I don't know. I really like that idea too. That was something that I had never thought of before. You should keep track of that, actually. Something to think about.
It'd be neat if like there was a way to see if you like hovered over your mod badge and it was just like modding for X number of months, or if when you click on your account, you could see that.
To be fair, I don't think that would work as easily because mod appreciation is also banning your mods
Yep.
for them to take care of themselves, because that's definitely a thing that Frank does.
True. That is true.
Yeah.
I'm such a
One of our
Yeah.
mods, Alchemy, has 100% been banned just so she would finally go eat. And I have
That's
just
true.
narrowly escaped a ban when I was still an apprentice, and I had to prepare a presentation for bookseller school, and I was almost banned to just go and finish that. But
Mhm.
luckily, I finished it right before I got into chat.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. If you looked it up, I've been a mod for Loco for like a couple weeks then. Like,
Yeah.
Like when was
Yeah.
the last time I was banned? I don't know.
And
So
there's
yeah, I
always
guess-
that incentive of I will pay X amount of money to ban a mod, which is kind of fun because most streamers put it at like a flat level for all the mods. I will say Taffy does not. Our mods are ranked by price. And I will say that the female mods tend to be worth a lot more than his male mods for some reason. I don't know why, but he just like, the ladies look out for me and they're like here for me, whereas you guys just troll me.
that actually
Okay.
makes a lot of sense.
To be fair, in our mod team, we all troll Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're not modding your biggest trolls, then you're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
They have
look,
to know they know where the line is the best. That's what it is. They know where your line is the exact best, and they know what is crossing the line. And if they know where it's crossing the line, then they know where to ban. So
Yep.
that's my personal preference on it.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that.
I did see a really great chat question from Prettiest Glitch. He was asking, like, what can community members do to show their appreciation for mods? Like, what can they do to support the mods? I will say that, like, as someone who has occasionally, rarely streamed on my own channel, people have found that out and they have offline hype trained me 3 times.
What?
I have had people also, I have my treat stream on there, and even though I'm not live, it'll send me an email saying someone wants to send you a treat, and like having someone feed you as a mod, like what higher reward can you get sometimes?
It's really what we're lacking is food.
Yeah, food.
If you ask most mods. Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. I think throwing them a follow to see if they ever do go live. I go live like maybe twice a year or something like that. If I'm like doing an event for Loco or something, like I don't stream, but if you popped in when I was streaming, that would be super cool because I'm probably doing it for charity or something if I'm streaming. Yeah, other than that, a public thank you in chat is a lot of times the most you kind of can do. If they don't stream, if they don't have affiliate status to get subs, or they don't have panels that direct you how to like DoorDash them some food or something, a lot of times the best you can do is say thank you. And I would say ask the streamer, hey, are you going to do a mod appreciation something, but that's really the financial position of the streamer, and it's not something you should really ask publicly, because like if they could, they probably would, and if they can, they probably will. It's not something that I would want to like shame a streamer into, because you have no idea what their finances are like. So
Yeah.
Any other ways?
So, I mean, we have the mod love command.
I love your mod love command.
mean,
if anyone has it, like knows it and can spam it in the chat, you should do it because it's.
I don't know if I know it, but
Yeah.
Mods attack, mods protect, but most of all, mods cute as heck.
that's
Yes.
the one. And I've seen that one spread to a couple of channels. Like I've seen people take it from our community and adopt it for other channels and just like spam it.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
That's like the kind of like mod appreciation from chat that I really enjoy. What I do have to say is that sometimes there are people who will be like, X and X is best mod. That actually often makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yep.
Because we're all amazing at what we do, sure, but none of us is better than the other. We're just we're often better in some things than the other, but then we balance each other out. But none of us is like top mod.
Yeah.
It makes me it makes me uncomfortable because it feels like they are saying the other mods are less.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing that we do. Like, we're really careful in our community. Anytime I see that, I'm always like, all mods best mods because
Yeah.
Yes.
we don't put people down in order to lift other people up. That's just not something that we do.
Mhm.
And I'm really careful that my mods all know that, like, there's no like we don't rank mods, Taffy. Do what works for you.
Called
And
out.
I think if that's
Someone
what you're
clip
gonna
that.
do, then that's what you're gonna do. But I have to imagine that, like, I'm sure that the mods that are like lower tier or whatever think it's funny and they're in on the joke and like they don't actually
Mhm.
care. But I have to, like, I don't know. I could see that being a thing that would make somebody's feelings hurt to be told like this mod is better than the other mod, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
know
it's
we
usually
try to watch for it. And I know like there's jokes too. Like each certain channels have different ones. Like in Loco's channel, there's jokes about Skomar because he's always on vacation and all
he
this.
actually is the worst mod though.
See, but like that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that comes down to your mod team specifically. That I think
Yeah.
can go because that's just a sense of humor, right? Like you're
Mhm.
all joking, like you're the worst mod, ha ha ha. But he's also in on it, so I think
Yeah.
that really depends on the community and the mod team themselves more
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Like in Taffy's, we joke about a mod Stevie, but Stevie was also the biggest troll in Taffy's community for a while, and it got to a point though where he was actually becoming a more and more a pillar. Like he grew and had this great like character growth, I guess. And he's a super mod and he's great. Like I love the fact that he does things like he'll play Sea of Thieves with members of the community. And I think having things where your mods are getting engaged with the community outside of stream is a really cool thing. I don't know if you guys have any other ideas or things that you've seen of mods getting engaged outside of stream, because we're kind of around regardless, especially if you have Discords. You have access to mods almost 24/7.
I mean,
Yeah, I
especially
mean-
with
Oh,
when
go
you
ahead,
have
Dean.
like a mod team. Sorry,
Yeah.
like, especially when your mod team is literally spread around the globe. Like we have now. I'm not the only EU mod anymore,
Which is
thanks
great.
to River, which is great. But thanks to that, we do actually almost are being available at about 24/7. So
Yeah, for like I would
Kind
say
of.
the scope of what the community requires because we don't
Yeah.
have much of a community that's outside of those hours anyway. But yeah, that's been really nice because it does make it so that Discord is better covered. But then yeah, if people are just wanting to chat or even just like hang out or play games together, it seems like there's always a mod available to be part of that or to help facilitate it almost.
That's awesome. That's something that we've been trying to do in Locos with like community playtime with the mods. Where like after she streams, one of us will like set up a playtime where it's like, oh hey, Loco is playing The Sims today, and Wes is playing The Sims with whoever wants to play right when the stream ends, which is like a really cool way. And honestly, it felt like as long as we're trying to stay on the topic, it kind of felt like a reward to me because Loco was like, hey, everybody, Wes is playing The Sims after this. Go hang out with him. And that was like a way to boost up the event and way for like us to get more interaction. And she hung around for a little bit. And it's just like, that's a really cool way to kind of, in a way, to reward your mods, is let them do things like that. Obviously, it's not doing stuff like that when you're streaming, but, little things to let them be more of a pillar of your community, because that's very important to a lot of people. Like we have the freedom to, if we want, in Loco's channel, like create a book club if we wanted to. She would be like, that's awesome, go ahead, do it, make a channel for it, I'll tell people about it on stream, like that's great. And allowing us to do what we want and to like be more of a pillar of the community, that's a huge thank you in and of itself.
So I think you guys have done that at some point. Like your mods kind of do a lot of the community engagement on Discord, right?
We literally had a book club.
Yeah, we had a book club. They've run D&D campaigns. They run like community days or movie nights or things like that. A lot of that stuff I am I try really hard to want to be there. Like I don't try to want. I want to volunteer. I try really hard to like be like, I'm gonna do this thing. But the reality is that I'm a busy human. And it's really nice to be able to have a team of people that can like kind of take on some of that. Because well, one, they want to do it, and two, like, which is beyond me. I don't understand why anybody wants to do any of that. But um they like they can kind of take some of that responsibility, I guess, of like organizing it, putting it together, deciding on a time, deciding on what game, deciding on when it's going to happen, and making the announcement and making it happen. Like that is all not stuff that I have to think about. If I can be there, I'll just show up, like I'll just be there then. And that's a lot easier on a streamer and so appreciated from my perspective. I love when they come to me and they say, "Hey, I've been thinking about doing this thing." Like I almost never say no. I'm always like, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen."
I think those things are always big win-wins for the streamer and the mod. The
Yeah.
streamer gets community engagement that they don't have to personally do, and the mod gets more responsibility and feels like they have a little bit more
Ownership.
autonomy and ownership. Yeah, like they get to feel like more of a part of the community. I think that's always a win-win. I love those kinds of events and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm curious about, this is something I've tweeted about in the past recently. For mods that are also streamers themselves, how do you feel when your streamer shouts you out? Or would you ever want to have them host into you, raid into you, have you on auto host? Is that something you want to know? Like, do you want the community to know, hey, I also do this, when I'm not here?
I do regularly raid into Frank, like once a week.
Yeah, Deem streams before me, so I don't often get the chance to raid into him. But
Yeah, I literally only stream on days when Frank is off, simply because it also fits into my schedule. And like, so I have a hard time giving her a chance to raid into me, even if she wanted to.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool idea, but I think like I think Deem does it the exact right way. If you're a mod, never expect it. You can hope for it, never expect it. Also, unless you've got a really close relationship with your streamer, I kind of feel that they should find out that you stream the same way any streamer finds out that you stream, and that's when you raid them. Not because you're talking about it in chat, not because you told them and asked them to raid you, but because you raided them. Otherwise, you have to be so tactful to not just come off like, oh, hey, especially now that I'm a mod for you, you want to raid me sometime? Like, it's just, it's tacky. And honestly, your streamer is networking too. They have people that they want to work with. You may not be very high on that list if they are trying to network up and bigger, or they have certain names in mind, or they already have a circle of friends. Again, please don't expect it. Hope for it. Raid into them if you think that they don't know that you stream. Raid into them. But yeah, please don't streamer raid me. Please don't. And this goes for regular viewers too. Don't come in and say, I'm about to go stream, or I just finished my stream. Unless you rate it.
you can tell Wes is a mod. All of that just sounds such like a don't do this. Don't do this. This is you will get timed out. You will get your message deleted. Stop it.
It's literally a situation of also the mods are not exempt from the rules, and the rule is to not self-advertise unless you raid into someone and you're actively being asked about your stream.
Yep. I have kind of talking on like, do you like to be shouted out? I will shout out Deem, and I'll do the same shout out that I would do for anybody else that raids into me. But I've noticed that if Deem is like, if the other mods are quiet or they haven't been around, Deem will never do a caster command for himself in my chat, which I've literally asked him to do, and I will type myself, but he will never ever do the caster command in my chat and like put his own link in chat, which I think is funny. mostly. Really silly because I'm like, you rated here, you stream, I'm shouting you out. Will you please do your job? But I think it's just like that like awkward of like, this is my own link. But the other mods have no problems doing it. And they're like, yeah, they're on it. And they're like, they're fine. And I've definitely done it myself because I refuse to go without actually like putting the link in chat for those people who want to easily click on it and go follow and listen to what I'm saying when I say, please go follow this person. Oh my God.
It's an inner conflict between being a mod and wanting to do my job, but also being like,
Humble.
I don't want to self-advertise.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it comes down to that, is that, you know, we're mods and we got to follow the rules too. Just because we're moderators doesn't mean we can. And I can see that being a conflict.
One of the ways you can kind of, I don't want to say get around it, but like if you are a streamer and you do want people to know in the community, talk to your streamer about having Discord settings so it notifies people when they're live with a status. So that way they can see like, oh, there's a little purple dot, this person's streaming. It sets them apart a little bit. That also helps you find more people in the community who are streaming too. Because I know people always worry about, oh, what if this person streams the same time I do, blah, blah, blah. One, it's very rare for someone to only watch one stream nowadays, it feels like. It seems like a lot of people have a lot of windows open sometimes. And two, I personally am of the belief that like your community is not going to grow unless you're supporting each other. And so the more you tend to your community and help them, the more they're going to invest back into you. And so I'm not saying like, yeah, you should shout out every single viewer of yours who streams and let people know, but like doing that one simple thing in Discord of letting them have a status that says, I'm live right now, that does a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Of that same token, this is a little bit off topic of mod appreciation, but in that same token, if you're looking for, as a streamer, for an easy way to shout out all of the people in your chat that do stream, because there are a lot of people in your chat that stream, and it's also a way for the community to get to know each other and kind of help facilitate that. I will occasionally do a thing where I say, okay, all rules out the window. If you stream, now is the time. Tell me what you stream, when you stream, why you stream. Like, tell me about your life right now. Like, raise your hand, I stream, and tell me about it. And it's amazing to see how many people in my community stream. And I always, every single time we do that, I learn that somebody new streams that I didn't know streamed. And I also always see people being like, I followed you. I'm so excited to like check you out. And it's another one of those ways to be like, we all are in this together and kind of interconnect those communities. And I think it's, yeah.
Like, especially at those moments, I often see people in chat being like, hey, if you're a new streamer who's still struggling to get like the 50 follower mark for affiliate, please DM me.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a beauty. That is just beauty and grace in its own.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is
it's
so
one of those things
cool.
like affiliate, it's a personal choice whether or not you want to take that on, but it's really not a really hard hurdle to get to. But that 50 followers mark, kind of, it is if you're just starting out, and especially if you're brand new to Twitch and people don't know you.
Yep.
We just got one of my personal IRL friends to that within his first 2 weeks of streaming, because we found enough people that he knew personally who had Twitch communities who was like, hey, you don't know this person, take a chance on them.
Yeah.
And so that's been kind of great too. And I love seeing communities want to do that with each other. One of the things I love seeing too with the mod appreciation is I have only paid for a Taffy sub maybe for 2 months out of the 13 that I'm there. I don't do it necessarily on purpose, but I know there are people in the community who they want to do this for me. And so I let them gift sub me. And it's fun because I never know if I'm going to get a tier 1, a tier 3, tier 2. Like, it's kind of a guess. I'm like, I get new emotes sometimes.
Surprise!
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, it's a weird thing because, like, yes, I want to be able to sub and give money to my streamer. I think it's weird sometimes because, like, I'm essentially working for my streamer, but I'm giving them money to be there for the emotes and whatnot. But I'm okay doing that because, honestly, mods are some of the people who sub the most and gift sub the most. And so that's a unique thing. But, like, I feel really special and love when I see someone in the community gift subbing to mods and such, because it's like, they want to make sure you're taken care of too, and it's a small thing they can do for you.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
that is.
definitely had moments like when I was still an apprentice. There were a few months where I couldn't afford the Frank sub, and without a doubt, any month that I couldn't afford it, I got the gift sub. It took maybe maximum 2 streams of being there without a badge.
I was gonna say, if it goes on too long, I would be the one to do it, because like there's no way. Like there's
Yeah.
no way I would let that happen, because I agree. It's like seeing someone walking around without pants on. It's just like not right. You of all people should have subs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
I've
mean,
seen.
kind of circling back on what we touched on before, if you are a viewer and you want to show appreciation to your mods, this isn't a way that you can just say, hey, I appreciate you today, because you kind of have to wait for that moment and snipe it up. But if you are someone who's appreciative of the mods, pay attention to those badges. You might catch someone one month where, you know, maybe they're scraping a little bit and they don't have a sub right now, and if you want to show appreciation to a mods, that is a beautiful thing to do, because trust us, we feel like we're in chat without pants too. It's awkward for us.
And I think like, if you maybe know like of their birthday month or something, because unlike streamers, it's not our birthday every day.
Happy birthday, Frank.
You can maybe DM the mod and be like, hey, I'd like to do this thing for you. When is your sub renew? Like, just do it in private, so it's kind of a little thing of like, because even if they say no and they're like, I don't want to accept this gift, I mean, I know I would feel really special and loved if someone just said, hey, I'm thinking of you. I would like to do this thing for you. Because it's just, a lot of times with these things, it's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, it's literally one of those moments where it's like the literal thought that counts.
Yeah. We don't get that many thank you DMs. No. You know, depends on the season, on the event. You know, like we get some during St. Jude. It's kind of nice, but yeah, there's. I mean, you know, honestly, a thank you DM is a beautiful thing. A thank you DM with an offer to buy me a sub. I mean, super thank you.
Yeah, I think most of our DMs, I mean, yeah, most of mine, if it's related to the channel, are either questions about what has just happened, or it's a, why did you just time me out? Why am I banned? I'm like, you're not banned, and the streamer just told me to do this. So a way you can support your mods and appreciate them, back them up in chat. Like, don't be a mod. If you don't have a sword, don't mod. Don't step over your boundaries. But like, if you know the rules, support them and be like, hey, maybe I'm not going to engage with this person. They're trying to calm down. So that was a situation that even happened this morning, is I was trying to get them off a topic that the streamer didn't want. And people kept adding the same person, and that person kept replying. And eventually it's just like, if a mod says stop, you got to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's, well, you know, Lucid's chat's a little bit different beast because he talks politics, but we do actually have a exclamation point dogpile command. Because when things get out of control, like, it's not necessarily a breaking of the rules, but sometimes Lucid is talking to the person that everybody else is trying to tell, like, what our rules are or how we do things in that channel. And we have a dogpile command that basically just says, hey, everyone stop adding this person. Let the mods and Lucid deal with it. We're not ready to ban them yet, but we're talking to them, so just drop it. Don't try and be mods. Don't try and be the streamer, which is kind of important. We appreciate when you don't try and step on our toes. Well, I know nobody's trying to step on our toes, but it certainly can be like that. And I've also seen bad information given out by viewers sometimes, which is actively harmful to us. If you're trying to tell someone the rules and you're not a mod, that's not your place. You might get it wrong, and I've seen that happen. Definitely seen that happen.
And I'll say I've, being someone who's a regular viewer in Frank's chats, I appreciate when people are like, mods get this, mods get that. You tell the viewers to calm down, and hey, the mods are doing their jobs. You trust, like, you get to be in chat and not have to worry really, because you know your mods are going to do it. Even if they don't get to it right away, they're going to get there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes mods are people, it turns out. And they look away from the computer and they have to stand up and move around. And like, it's not always like, my mods are pretty quick. I was just gonna say my mods are pretty quick and they're pretty attentive, but every once in a while they'll miss something or like I'll miss something or whatever. And I'm chronically behind in chat. That's one of the things that is just always a thing in my chat. So sometimes I don't see it, and because I think I don't see it, the mods just haven't engaged with it, um, and so sometimes we'll see the cry for a mod, please help. And I've definitely told my chat, like, just don't, please don't, because it makes them feel bad. It makes them feel bad that they missed something. And it's honestly, it's not that big of a deal. I'm sorry you had to read it, whatever it was. And I promise I'm not losing sleep over it. So it'll be okay. And
I'm going to write this down.
Of me.
I think I want to title my memoirs Chronically Behind in Chat. That was just poetic. I loved it.
It's also true.
Yeah, and we have in some other like in our last stream when we talked about different mod tools, talked about using highlighted terms to have the word mod pop up. So like if it is something that's like not 20 people shouting hey mods, you can do that. If you DM a mod with a question, wait a significant amount of time before you DM another mod, because eventually then we find out like 2-3 people are working on the same exact issue. We do try to keep in touch on mod chats, but like doesn't always happen. But yeah,
there's
just
a lot going on. How could you? Like, you're trying to actively watch a chat that's constantly moving, while also dealing with a DM, while also trying to communicate with the other mods and your stream. Like, no. Be patient, I think, is a big part of all of it on viewer side for sure.
We've definitely been in situations where someone is like, hey, so-and-so just DM'd me, and we're in mod chat. And then like 3 other people are like, wait, they DM'd you too? Can they not wait a minute? Like, we're working on it. We need to consult. Give us a second. Oh my God, we're getting so off topic, but I love this conversation so much. Let's hit if there are any questions, pop them in chat because we're very rapidly running out of time. I'm going to mention a couple things before we sign off that I just absolutely love. And this is, we do this a lot in Loco's mod chat where we have after hours meetings with lots of alcohol. I don't know why alcohol. It's actually alcohol. We're getting drunk in mod chat. So a lot of us will hop in voice chat sometimes and just get drunk and hang out because, like I said before, we're a family and a lot of mod teams can get like that. And if you are a streamer and you see mods hanging out, if you pop in for 5 minutes, that's like the most fun thing in the world to us. Especially if it's just like a night where we're all just like playing a game and drinking or something like that. Like having the streamer pop in is absolutely hilarious to us. It's good times. So that and like playing games with us when you can and want to, like that's always awesome. But that's like literally one of the last things I would ever expect and I would never ask for because
especially if a streamer is doing that full time. Like if they're playing games, you're not gonna be like, hey, you're after hours, you want to hop on and do this extra thing?
I almost can't not mention though, like when a streamer is playing a game that allows people to join and maybe they give first priority to their mods and they are playing on stream, I mean, that is huge. That is a huge thing that we appreciate. I don't know a single mod that doesn't love that.
Yeah.
I have a question about that. When you play games with your mod, on or off stream, right? So on stream, I'm very particular about like, I'm very attentive to chat. And so I don't do almost any squad streaming or co-op streaming. I don't like other voices in my ear basically, because it distracts me from chat. Is that a problem? Like I would happily play with mods on stream, but in silence or like typing to each other.
I've definitely seen it where the mods maybe are on their own Discord, but they have the stream up so they can hear. And then like in Stardew, they'll have just the regular text chat, or Minecraft the same. I know Wes can speak about it more, but Loco just did Broomstick League with some mods and viewers, and they were actually really respectful of not overtaking the audio for the stream and realizing that this is still her stream. And they communicated with chat too. Like that's, if you're a mod that's playing on stream, you need to be reading chat too, just to kind of keep up with everything.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it heavily depends on the game. Like Broomstick League, we needed to be able to talk because like we just couldn't coordinate defense. I think if you're playing something like Stardew or I mean really any game where you can afford to read and type while you're playing, I think that's perfectly acceptable. And obviously I mean no mod is hopefully going to want you to do something that puts you out of your element where you feel like you're not streaming at your best just because you're in voice chat with them. Like I don't any good mod should hopefully be against you sacrificing your stream to play games with them. So I think they'd understand. And Dean, you were about to say something. Sorry.
Yeah, we did have like when Frank played or plays on our Minecraft server on stream, we did have a few adventures where it was like just me and Frank going on an adventure on stream.
Mm-hmm.
And while it would definitely have helped us like coordinating what we were actually doing to be in voice chat, because I just heard her on delay, so
Right.
she would say something and in game will already be far off.
I have
Yeah.
what they call alpha energy in Minecraft. You keep up with me or you're gone. Like you're just not part of this anymore.
Yeah.
Losing
can't keep up
Frank
to
in
Frank.
Minecraft is just a thing.
Yeah. And I think
I hate to
in
do
those
this.
But yeah, so it would have helped
yeah.
probably to be in mod, but it's not like I would have been like, hey, can we just hop in mod in voice and just do that thing easier, because I know that would like invade her streamer space.
Wait for them to ask you.
Yeah. I think what I would do is have a voice chat, but have everyone muted. That way they can still hear you in live time, but they're not going to be interrupting unless it's like something like super, super important and they have your permission to actually speak. Like, you give them the little spirit wand and then they can talk. Yeah, raise your hand and then you can get called on.
I think that's good feedback because I feel like it has definitely stopped me from playing with viewers and mods in the past, like games that I could easily be playing with people. I'm just like, but then voice, and then I have to coordinate all this, and I don't know. And it sounds like there are a lot of options out there for streamers. So if you're like me and you're like, well, this is a thing that I would love to do, but I don't know how it would work for my setup currently. It sounds like that's not a requirement for y'all.
And if a mod or a viewer is like, oh, you don't want to be in voice while we game, well, then I don't want to screw them. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but like, it's your stream. And if you're just like, look, I don't like having voices in my ears while I'm trying to read chat. Like, if someone doesn't want to respect that, then like, you probably don't want to game with them anyway. Like, yeah, no, you got options. I definitely would play with someone if they couldn't be in voice chat.
Cool.
And I hate to do this, but we got to do outros, and then we got to do our outro scene, and then we got to get ready for Dan's stream of thought. Dan is going. Actually, tell me all about that, Rainy, because I don't know yet.
I don't know too much. I know they're talking about engagement, which is, I mean, a lot of what we just discussed, which is awesome. He's got 2 guests tonight, so that's new for school. We have some guest teachers presentations from Sir Slaw and Pods of War, so it should be great. Yeah, they're both amazing people.
Yeah, those are such great guests. All right, well, we'll start our outros. We'll go backwards, right? Okay, so let's start with Dean. Wait.
Dean's below me.
I don't know where anybody is.
Opposite your balloons. Other way. That way.
Hi.
So you just talk and put us all out of our misery.
So yeah, you can find me at DeamHara. No, Twitch. Do you know how a Twitch URL works? I'm just bad at talking about myself. Is the thing. Also, my cat is. Help.
Cat is very curious right now.
Yeah. So yeah, I do art on stream and I mod for Frank, and that's essentially my internet life.
Boom. Frank?
I'm FrankthePegasus across the board. You can find me Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you want to find me. I will be there at FrankthePegasus. Deem is my mod. Deem is my mod and is one of many wonderful mods. So if you want to meet the rest of the mod squad, definitely come by. We have a very welcoming community. We love to make friends. So you're looking for how to mod they probably would help you out.
Mhm.
They are great examples. I love being in Frank's community so much. They're so sweet and warm, and the mods. Honestly, you can tell so quickly how much the mods do to cultivate that community when you stop in and just say hello. That's literally all you have to do,
Yep.
and you'll be like, "Oh my God, these mods!" Like there's a reason that we grabbed Frank and Deem. They're both fantastic. I'm Wes Cisa. You can find me on Twitter if you really want, Twitch if you really want. Other than that, find me here Tuesdays at 4:45 p.m. And make sure you check us out on all those socials. And finally, my fantastic co-host.
Hey guys, again, I'm Rini, also Adorable Me. I'm here pretty much anytime this channel is live. You'll find me here with this show, but I'm also around for basically anything StreamerSquare. And if you ever have questions about anything beyond just modding, just streaming, hit us up on our Discord, on our Twitter. We're constantly looking for things. If you want to learn something and you don't know if it's on our agenda or if we even know about, like say, hey, I want to learn about what's the best compressor for I don't know. I don't know parts and stuff, but just tweet us. Someone will answer it.
Any of the things.
Yeah, and you can find me, Adorable Me here, Adorkablah for Twitter. It's my usernames are all up in the air, but just if you find me on Twitch, you can find me anywhere. I've got panels. But thank you so much for coming out here. Yeah, this is a great show. Thanks, Deem and Frank, for being here.
Thanks for having us
so much.
This was really fun.
Yeah, I love this. And I feel like we barely even scratched the topic. There's so much to talk about here.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, and
we're
I'm gonna be even more on the lookout for it now.
Yeah, we're gonna gather all of the suggestions and things that we've talked about today, put them into an article for the website, so we'll have a nice list of different things you can do. And if you have more ideas, Discord, we'll keep gathering them and we'll keep updating it. That way we can think of like new ways to show, hey, thank you. So Wes, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Deem. And thank you, Frank, for being someone who appreciates mods. I'm gonna cheer up as we go. It's so nice.